At Unity of Aliso Viejo, we greet you in the name of all that is beautiful and sacred, where we embrace all spiritual paths that teach love. Unity offers a positive path for spiritual living that helps to support people in expressing their divine potential for healthy, abundant, meaningful lives. Unity welcomes people of every creed, color, ethnicity, age, socioeconomic background, sexual orientation, and people with disabilities. Unity leaves no one out. We also like to say that you are here not by accident, but by divine appointment, and we are so grateful that you kept your appointment with Spirit this morning. And in Reverend Margaret's absence, please join me in holding the thought of our opening prayer this morning. We thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this beautiful day. Thank you for guiding our thoughts, words, actions, and heart this day, so that they may more resemble yours. This we pray with joy and thanksgiving. Amen. Amen. Reverend Margaret is with family this morning, and we have a special guest speaker, Maria, who you will hear more about and get to meet shortly. She has a wonderful message for us this morning. Maria's path to becoming a spiritual teacher began over 20 years ago when she was introduced to Chuan Fa Kung Fu. Dedicated training combined with her studies of Eastern healing arts, philosophy, meditation, and manifestation techniques have compelled her to teach others to achieve greater personal empowerment. Maria, along with her husband, owns several martial arts schools. She is a 7th degree black belt, earning her title of Grand Master. She is also a former co-host of a radio show in Los Angeles, California. Maria's commitment is to pass along her knowledge and wisdom to impress one's self-awareness, personal growth, internal harmony, and higher consciousness. Through her unwavering dedication, she gives you the means to discover what you want out of life and to do something about it. She has a flair for fun and an easy, natural presentation style that is delightful and engaging. Maria leaves no life untouched by her uplifting spirit. Maria?
Thank you. Okay, I didn't think it could get any better from this morning with all the music and everything and the healing light over there, but then we had the announcements. Where did he go? Who is he? I mean, is he like secretly a comedian? And then he gets up and he's making everyone laugh. Everybody here is like has this other comedic side to them. But anyway, that was awesome. It was my favorite part. Just wanted to share that with all of you. So, okay, going into the talk. So we'll start with a story. So long ago, many years ago, there's this little village, and in this village stood a 10-foot tall, solid gold Buddha. I didn't know that till I got off before. I got off the stage. I'm like, oh, look, they put up did you do that? That was very good. So this Buddha's in the middle of their town, solid gold. They love this. It's like the center of everything for them. Their celebrations, meditation, everything revolves around this. And then they get this wind of this word, this terrible warring tribe is coming through all the neighboring villages and just tearing them apart, murdering people, knocking things over, stealing, everything you can imagine. That's just horrible. And so they start to panic, obviously, like we all would. And not only afraid for themselves and their family, they start thinking about their precious Buddha. What are they going to do? They're definitely going to tear this down and take the gold and just tear it apart. So one of the elders in the village decides, I know, why don't we get together, all of us, and just start caking it and covering it with mud, like a type of mortar. So they get the clay and they get the water and they start packing this Buddha. And they pack it and pack it. And they worked all the way like 24 hours. And it's a good thing they did because early that morning, the warring tribe comes in. Sure enough, they do everything terrible that they imagined they would do. But even worse, the tribe decides to stay. Lucky village, right? So this tribe stays, and they stay, and they stay, and years go by before they finally head out. Well, at that point now, anybody who covered the Buddha has either long gone to another village, passed away, or there's so little they don't remember the Buddha being golden. Then, years later, there's this little boy, and he's meditating by the Buddha. And he's sitting there meditating. When he gets up, he pushes himself off, and clink, this piece of clay comes off the Buddha. Of course, he gets all nervous because he just killed the Buddha. But he looks over, and there's this gold shining through the knee of the Buddha. And he's like, oh my gosh. So he starts screaming in the village, there's gold, there's gold. And they come out, they're excited, the bells are going, and they start chipping away. They take their little hammers and their chisels and they're chipping away at this Buddha, and there it is. They expose this amazing golden Buddha. And standing there before them in this village, they had no idea. To them, it was like concrete. And I love this story for two reasons, and one is that it's a true story. It's the Buddha resides today in Bangkok, Thailand. So you can go see that if you choose to go to Bangkok. And also because it represents who we all are. We are this amazing, powerful being. We have this gold inside of us, this energy, this passion, this love, this amazing person. But what we do is, through our false beliefs, we take this clay and just cover ourselves. Clay of lack of self-worth. Clay of not loving ourselves, and we just start packing it on. Everything that someone has told us, clay that you're not good enough, you're too short, you're too tall, you're a male, you're a female, you didn't have college, and we start packing and packing and packing and packing, and soon enough, we forget who we really are. We forget that we are this powerful, powerful Buddha, basically. You know, we are this powerful being on this planet. We go to work, we get up, we do our stuff, and it gets like drudgery sometimes. Sometimes we have good days, sometimes we have bad days, but if we would just wake up and just really listen to these few words, the power of God is within, the kingdom is within, you can do more and you can do what I do and more. If you really just don't say the words and think about them, and then you take every philosophy out there, basically, so much philosophy, so much religion, so much of our masters out there that speak throughout the years, and you whittle down their message. It's always that the kingdom is within, basically, if you think about it. Kingdom is within, power is within, you are this, but we don't think about it. We just think, well, that's that person, or that's that person over there, or this person over there. But it's you, and it's you, and it's you, and it's you. You are so powerful, and we need to start shining that out. We have to start chipping away at the clay that surrounds us. We walk around, and it's just like, oh, drudgery, and this concrete, and it's weighing us down, and we've got the weight of the world, and we do, but we don't have to. We can carry that and also chip away and shine out. Go for the passions. Go for what we want to do in life. And it doesn't matter your age. It does not matter. My grandmother at 94 years old became a model for the elderly. Go, Graham. I mean, that's awesome. She had that passion to do it her whole life, I guess. She turns 94 and she does it. I thought that's pretty cool. She was alive and lit up. But you can be too. And you think about some of the people that never let that cake on them, okay? We have like Einstein, who couldn't count back change. If he listened to people that made fun of him for that, we wouldn't have the theories we have today, a lot of inventions we have today. You have Beethoven, whose violin teacher said, you will never, never become a composer. Did he listen? Did he cake it on him? He might have, maybe for a week or two, then chipped it away, right? We have Walt Disney, fired from a newspaper for lack of creative ideas. I love the mouse. I really do. And without Walt Disney, we wouldn't have had the mouse. The kingdom, right? The fun. So he didn't let that stay on him. He didn't listen. He may have, but he didn't listen for long. We have all the movies we have today. We have all the jobs we have today because of him. So think about that. These are people who do amazing things. You might not have like what you consider an amazing thing, but what if it's a passion deep within you? See, we were given these gifts. Each of us are so unique. We were all given our own individual gifts, and that comes from, well, not me. I don't really have a passion. What do you love? You got to love something. You love something. Is it your children? Is it reading? Is it cooking and baking? What do you love? Yeah, but it's not, it's not like creating the computer or a rocket ship or something. So what? So what? What if you had a little bakery, and in this bakery, people came and they loved your things. You had little tables and flowers outside, and people loved to sit there. And then this woman walks in, and this woman is going through this divorce, and she just found out her son died, and she is in this deep, deep despair as anybody can be. And she looks at the owner and just says, because of your little shop, I have a little light every morning. Is that not as good, if not better, than a rocket ship? So you have no idea what's inside of you. None, until you break free and go for the things that you love to do and shine out what you love to do. It doesn't have to be a thing, just loving people and shining out. Well, if I do that and I show how powerful I am, it's kind of, I don't know, it's acting big. It's selfish for me to go for what I want. I've got a family. I've got things to do. Selfish? What are you talking about, selfish? If people didn't shine out and they didn't brag, we wouldn't have, for example, Michelangelo. He's painting, and he puts his little thing down. He's upside down like this, and he puts his little paintbrush down. He's like, I can't finish. If I finish that, who's going to try to compete with that? I'll just ruin it for all painters because I'm that good. But he didn't. He continued, and he kept going, so we can enjoy that today. Think of all the greats who did that throughout life. Think of Jesus. I don't know. I could raise him. Lazarus. But I don't know. I don't want to raise him. That'd be how embarrassing. That's really bragging. Raising somebody from the dead. Maybe a few fishes and things like that. But Lazarus, he did it. He didn't hide his light. He didn't get small and go, hey, Lazarus, can you come out of there? No, he's like, Lazarus, rise, Okay. Lazarus comes out. So, I'm just saying, we have to think about this within ourselves. We hide it and we take on all this stuff. Where did you get that stuff from? Well-meaning parents and grandparents and teachers and all, advertising, friends. Some are well-meaning, some are not, right? And yourself. You look in the mirror every day. How many people can truly look in the mirror and say, I love you? I had a 5-month course recently, and that was one of the things we did. We did this mirror work. Had people look in the mirror and say what I thought was, not that I sit there and go, hey, Maria, I love you. But, hey, I like me. And so I had people, just look in the mirror and say, I love you. How many out of the 50-some-odd people we had, right? I'm telling you, the majority of people could not do it. They couldn't do it. I got so many texts and emails, and she got people coming to her, and, I can't do this. I can't. I'm like, what do you mean you can't, look in the mirror and say, I love you? No. And what happens? Well, I had somebody tell me, I look in the mirror, and I just kind of look down, and then I start going, well, if I was a little thinner, if I, maybe it's time I should get the work. They couldn't do it. That is what I found of all the seminars I've given. One of the biggest things that we do in mud that we cake on ourselves is this lack of self-love. That has to stop. That has to stop so much with everybody here. You have to walk out that door today and just say no more. Because when you do not have self-love, which is not selfish, when you do not have self-love, you cannot lift anybody up. You do not shine your light. You're playing small. You're covered with all this junk. And when you're covered with junk, how in the world are you going to lift up your kids, your family, your mom, your dad, your coworkers? How can you do it? How can you literally walk in when you're depressed? Hey, Tom, how are you doing today? And Tom, I'm just going to use you because, we've been chatting all day. So, I don't know, same old, same old. Of course, he doesn't do that. But you don't even want to ask that. You know that person. You don't want to ask them how they are because the list is going to come, right? But what about changing? What about shining your light, your God-given unique self that is different than every single person in this room? What about shining that light out? And you walk into your job that you might not like, and you love the people, and you bring in fresh baked goods for everybody, and you bring in flowers, and you say hello to people. How about that one person that you never talk to? Because, the coworkers all talk about that person. Why don't you ask that person to lunch? We had so many people throughout the few years I've been doing this at my seminars. I'll give you one example because I really like this. There was this man that worked at this clothing store with a woman, and she was going to fire him. And she said, Maria, I'm ready to fire him. Everybody talks bad about him. Nobody gets along with him. He's just, he's just not working out. He's not doing his job. He doesn't care about it. And I'm like, before you do, give him a chance, right? I said, take this. I want you to take your light of who you are, and I want you to shine a little bit of light on this person, okay? So look at him and give him some compliment. It has to be sincere. Find something. Be sincere, though. Don't be fake. We can all read that fake stuff. Hi, you look so great today. It's like, oh. And you walk up to him, give him something. So she did. She did that. She said, Michael, she goes, that little thing that you did, what is it, when you put something together for a store? What is it? Thank you. Display. Thank you, my assistant. Awesome. But he made this little display, and he really did a good job. So he said, Michael, this is an amazing job that you did on the display. And he's like, oh, really? Thank you. And the next day she came in, he had another display, and it was beautiful. And the next, and the next. And I'm not kidding. If she tells me this day, now this was 5 years ago, I think, this day he has gotten like Employee of the Month for like almost every month. People love him. He changed like that. Why? Because she changed, talking about perspective earlier, she changed her perspective and how she saw him. She took her light inside and instead of pushing the light away, joined the light with him, brought his light out. Because some of us think it's selfish to shine out. It's selfish not to shine out. You cannot be sick enough to help the sick, as Wayne Dyer likes to say. You cannot be poor enough to lift up the poor. When you're sick, how are you going to help another person who's sick? You can't do that. You need to expand. You need to shine out. You need to go for your passions and come after life with just vigor, right? Just think of this big ocean. It's God. And when we ladle things out, we ladle out an atone. Did I say it right? Aton. I was thinking Aton, I'll remember his name. See what I did? And then, we'll ladle out Tom and we'll ladle everybody out, Kelly over there. And so you are actually part of the ocean. You are part of God. You can't not be. Think how powerful that is. Think of that Buddha inside, that gold that shines within. That is you. And it's time to stop playing small because this church here is amazing. I have talked at a few unities now. And you are so, we were just talking earlier, I was talking with Wayne, I'm saying, you guys have such a great energy. You can call in so many people and have this place packed. If your mindset's on it, right? Everybody thinking it together, bringing in the people, shining out your light, bringing the people through the love that you have. It's amazing here. And each one of you makes that up in this church. Each one of you is that light. Well, how do you do it? Am I good on time? How do you do it? How do you shine your light out? Well, there's a few things. Let's take the idea of wanting to have this little bakery, okay? But you're at a job that you don't like. So you go into your job that you don't like and you complain. You don't have the money you want. You complain to your coworkers about the boss. You don't like the hours. You got in traffic. You have taxes due. Somebody's sick. You don't have enough time in the day to do anything. How in the world could you ever even start a bakery? Well, with that attitude, you will never get a bakery. So you have to change your attitude, right? So you wake up with enthusiasm. You wake up as a baker. Well, how do I do that? You wake up with the mindset. You're a baker. You can do anything. You're the power of God within you. For God's sakes, you can do whatever you want to do. So you wake up as a baker. And when you wake up as a baker, you go to work. When you go to work, you say hello to everybody, and you greet everybody, and you stop complaining. It's so important. The complaining will just hold you, no matter what you can create and manifest, forget it if you're complaining. It's like going with the gas and putting on the brake, gas brake, like that. That's what it's all about. It's just not going to work. So, in order to manifest and create in our lives, which is who we are, creators, right? In order to do that, then we switch our mindset. And we begin to focus on the things that we do love and the things that we do want. And the gratitude that is around us is immense. When I worked with this group in Costa Rica, they were rehabbing from some pretty strong drugs. And the one thing they told us that got them through wanting to basically kill themselves, there were 2 people there, was gratitude, because they had something to focus on. So this girl came up to me and she's like, so I tried that gratitude thing you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, what about it? Well, I woke up and I basically wanted to kill myself today. I'm like, okay. And I'm not saying anything. So I walked outside and there's the horse. And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, I pet the horse. And I was actually grateful for the horse because it had a soft muzzle. I'm like, oh, good, that's excellent. And then she said, but then I looked around me and I was kind of grateful for the sun because it's really beautiful out. I'm like, great. And she goes, then I started thinking about it, and look at where I am. I mean, if I have to rehab, I'm in Costa Rica with this person cooking for me and these massage therapists, and she goes, and her energy is like actually changing like this, and she's working herself up, and she goes, look at where I am. If I have to rehab, I might as well do it here. So I'm like, yes, that's it. Keep focusing on that. So then they said they were all in this tour bus going somewhere together, and they're all complaining, right? And they decided, you know what? Let's do that thing she said with the gratitude. And they did. They started tearing away the old complaints. The complaints are that clay, you guys. It's the junk that we got to get rid of. So we focus on the gratitude. We take our minds from over here and all this complaint, no matter your money situation, no matter your health situation. What's the sense of staying in that, in the mindset? It's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to keep you where it is, right? We all know that. We don't always do it, but we know it. We force ourselves with our minds, we force ourselves to focus on gratitude, to focus on love, to focus on who we really are inside. That is where we keep our attention. It is one of the more difficult jobs on the planet to do. People think it's easy. Positive thinking, manifesting, close your eyes and visualize and you'll have it. Well, if that's the case, wouldn't we all be millionaires by now? You know, I'm saying. So if you just focus on the things that you love, you will open up, you will just tear apart the clay. So everybody close your eyes before I wrap up here. And I want you to think about 3 amazing things that you're grateful for. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. And thank you very much for listening to me. Thanks.
This is our meditative service, and right now our musicians will lead us into a time of meditation. We also have our light workers here today, so if you would like to receive light during the meditation, please go ahead and sit in front of one of the light workers.
How could anyone ever tell you were anything less than beautiful? My soul.
I invite you to relax in your chair, feeling it supporting your body and feeling safe right where you are. Tuning inside, tuning into that which beats your heart and that which breathes your body. Seeing this entity, this God seed, if you will, as a small beam of light inside of you. As you breathe in deeply, you breathe in the love of the divine, and this God seed within you grows, filling your entire body with love and light. As you feel this grow inside of you, you can hardly keep it contained. Feel this light extend out of your body, seeping through your pores. Envision it engulfing the person next to you or the person closest to you. Breathe in more love. See this light emanate from you, growing bigger, filling this room, engulfing the city, the state. Feel this love that's coming out of you, circling the entire globe. Notice how good it feels to have this big love, loving everyone and everything in the entire world. Enjoy this feeling. into this time and place, remembering how good it feels to be filled with divine love, the love of God. So much love on the inside that it comes pouring out on the outside into every person you meet and every place you go. Knowing that you have access to this love from within at any time. And so it is.
Sing with me now, in this very room. In this very room. In this very